Hello and welcome to the news brief for Friday, February the 9th, GSN. Thanks so much for tuning in for yet another Red Friday. So how about that? Chiefs are playing in the Super Bowl again because that's what we do around here in Kansas City. So hope that you having a great week and hopefully have plans to watch the game and all the spectacle that is the Super Bowl this weekend. Sorry there wasn't a GSN last week. There wasn't a whole lot of news going on, to be quite honest, and I got really caught up with several things last week. But we're back now, and lots of things are happening after the Super Bowl. Kind of everything is suspended until then, I suppose. But Lent is coming up this coming Wednesday, February 14th, which is also another significant day. It is Valentine's Day. I've been joking that I'm going to make hearts on people's heads instead of crosses this year, but I'm kidding. But it's a funny idea. But it does connect too, right? God loves you on Valentine's Day. But Ash Wednesday, this coming Wednesday, February 14th, normal Mass schedule that we have for holy days: 7 a.m., 8:30, that's a school Mass, 12 noon, 6 p.m., and then 7:30 in Spanish. So 7 a.m., 8:30, noon, 6 in English, and then 7:30 p.m. in Spanish. Those are the options there, and hopefully you can make it to Ash Wednesday. It's not actually a holy day of obligation. Many people think it is, but it is certainly a mass of opportunity and a great way to start off the Lenten season. Just to remind you that there are the fasting rules and the abstinence rules. So reminder that we abstain from meat on Ash Wednesday and then the Fridays during Lent. We are also called to do some form of penance every Friday during the year, unless it's a feast day, a holy day, like we had the presentation of the Lord last Friday. It was a special day, and so you weren't really obliged to do a penance that day. But we are called to do some sort of penance every Friday during the year. I have to regularly remind that we didn't get rid of all of the penance days, that we still have Friday is still a day that we always remember the sacrifice of Jesus Christ, and we offer some sort of sacrifice that day. Outside of Lent, we have the opportunity to choose, in the United States anyway, we have the opportunity to choose what our penance will be. But in Lent time, no meat, please. So basically, the breakdown is like cold-blooded animals are okay. So fish and lizards, I guess, are okay. But warm-blooded animals, chicken, pork, beef, we're not supposed to eat those things during Lent. And then the fasting rules, of course, for Ash Wednesday, that we eat one larger meal. We can eat one larger meal with two smaller meals that don't equal the size of the larger meal. That is the fasting rules, and no eating between meals. That's how my mom always described it. Don't eat between meals. That's pretty much it. So I kind of chuckle that our fasting rules are so simple as Catholics. It's like basically eat like a normal person. So eat a big meal and two smaller ones and you're good. So it's not that much to ask. But I always find that I get really, really hungry on Ash Wednesday and Good Friday because I know I can't eat. But that's maybe the devil trying to work in on me. So that is that. During Lent, we have fish fries, and we have the Stations of the Cross. So Stations of the Cross are at 5:30 in English and 7 p.m. in Spanish. And then the fish fries, I believe they are 5 to 7, but more details are here. So hopefully you can come. I often comment, but kind of my new phrase is when it feels like fish fry weather. And it's felt like fish fry weather the last few days because it's unseasonably warm and we're hinting towards this time of spring, even though I think there's a cold spell coming again. But so that is that. And we have adoration. Reminder that we have adoration every Thursday from 6 a.m. to 10 p.m. We do ask that people sign up for those slots, but you don't have to. So we need to make sure that all the times are covered. But anytime during the time from 6 a.m. to 10 p.m. on Thursdays, you are welcome to come and spend some time in adoration. Generally in the evening after the 6:15 Mass on Thursday, it tends to be a little bit noisier in the Adoration Chapel, as kind of the Latino custom is to pray out loud, and that's not necessarily the Anglo tradition. You kind of pray in your quiet little way, but that's not always the way that it happens there in the evening hours of Thursday. But you can come anytime during the day or the evening on Thursday. And then we're expanding the adoration opportunities to, as long as we get the signups, we'll have a sign up this weekend and on Ash Wednesday. We plan to have adoration on Friday as well, noon to 6 p.m. So crossing into the Stations of the Cross. So adoration on Fridays as well, noon to 6, assuming that we have people to cover the hours. And if we don't, then maybe we'll have to cancel that. But my hope is that we will have adoration every day. That's my hope. I mean, Eucharistic adoration in the monstrance. We are not there yet. We still have our Adoration Chapel that is open 24/7, that anyone can come if you have the code. If you need the code, let me know. I'll get you the code. To get into the chapel, that's always available, but it's not always exposed in the monstrance, and I would like to have that more frequently than just once a week, but step by step. So next step is to try to add this Friday time, at least during Lent. Men Under Construction, it's a wonderful opportunity, and it's always a Saturday, the first Saturday of Lent, so the Saturday after Ash Wednesday. And great speakers. Scott Hahn is one of the most well-known Catholic speakers in the whole country, and he's coming on that day. So this is a great year, men. If you have not yet been to Men Under Construction, it's a great way to build up your faith and just see how many men around the area take their Catholic faith seriously. So it's a beautiful experience there. So that is the Saturday after Lent, after Ash Wednesday, during Lent, after Ash Wednesday. And then a reminder that we are taking up the New House collection. And so that is supporting those victims of domestic violence. And so there's many ways that you can contribute. Here's more information. And then you might have received a paper copy this past weekend that those are being distributed. This weekend, we will take up a collection for our youth ministry. You know how it works here at Good Shepherd is that each ministry can have up to one collection during the year. And this is the collection that we help out and support youth ministry and to help them to go on their mission trips and to hopefully go back to NCYC in a couple years and all these various things that they do that need some extra funding. So they will make a little plea or a little speech at the end of the masses this weekend, and there'll be a special collection or a special opportunity to help out for the youth ministry this weekend. And then Vacation Bible School is coming up. We are not going to do Totus Tuus this year. We have done that in the last couple of years. This year, we're going to instead do our own Vacation Bible School. So that's something that Becca has wanted to do, our director of youth ministry, and I think I'm all for it. So if we can make it happen. So it's a little bit more labor intensive than the Totus Tuus is, but I think we can put on a great program. We had a great history. Looking in the history of our parish over the past 50 years, a Vacation Bible School used to be a huge, huge thing. I've seen pictures, and we'd like to kind of rebuild that. So that's the plan. Also, speaking of that history book should be going to the printer in the next week or two. Sorry, I'm delayed on doing that. We wanted to check over all the information, making sure that we're not missing any pictures and that the information that we have is correct. So I am grateful that we have had the opportunity to get that kind of looked over, and I have finished the history portion, and so that should be going to the printer. Sorry for the delay. It's a little bit later than I was planning. I just got caught up with Christmas stuff and then a bunch of funerals at the beginning of the year. Kind of took up a lot of my free time to make that happen. So that's coming. Sorry, a little bit later than I was expecting, but it should be still a beautiful memory and book and great access to pictures and names. And then I think that is everything. This weekend I have the 5 p.m., the 8 a.m., and the 12:30 p.m. masses. That's my mass schedule. Father Mercerman has the 10 a.m. and the 4 p.m. It does help that I'm in charge of the schedule. That it just so happened that I did not have the 4 o'clock mass on Super Bowl Sunday. So I think that's everything to report here this Friday. Again, I hope that you have a great weekend, a great week, and go Chiefs.